Damn it. No. This could never be flush. It's annoying. Hey. Just adjusting here. Okay, there we go. Doesn't feel flush, but it's pretty flush. Okay. Whew. God. I'm doing good, Courtney. I'm doing good. Just another day. Another day, not enough time in the. Thank you, Courtney. Another day, not enough time in the day. That's more like a my end issue though, because I always get up late. How are you guys though? How's everyone doing? How's everyone's? Today's Thursday? Yeah, how's everyone's Thursday? This is annoying. Courtney, yeah, click the guest button down below. Would love to have you on. Yeah, be a guest. Get this show rolling. Oh, there we go. Alright. Going good. Just making some dinner. For sure, man. Haven't had dinner yet. Had a lunch, though. So. Hey, Courtney.
Hello.
Can you
How
hear
are
me?
you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So, quick question. This is being screen recorded. Are you okay with being screen recorded?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Cool. It's gonna go on YouTube just for those
No
that
worries.
didn't make the live.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, thank you for being here. One more question. How old are you?
I'm 42.
Thank you. Try not to cuss like F-y FF. It's okay to say fuck here and there. And try not to get too fanatical. It's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy.
Yeah.
That being said, it's all you.
Okay, so I was born in Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
and raised in, I don't know if you know this place, but it's called Stone Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the, basically, monument to the Confederacy.
Yeah.
And so I'm very sensitive.
Oh, okay.
So living so close to the base of the mountain, I mean, I'm talking about like less than 10 minutes away, like walking distance. And so because I'm so sensitive, even from a young age, I would get, like entities,
Yeah.
And I tried to talk to my mom about it, but she grew up super religious, so she didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Even though she has it too. And so I went to my grandmother and I was like, I need help. Like, I'm not sleeping at night. I can't eat. Like, I didn't even want to go to school. And I'm talking like 5, 6 years old. I don't mean I was a teenager or anything. Like, I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And one day I woke up, and this was probably the scariest. No, it's not true. The one at Lake Lanier. But this is close second, is when I woke up at 5, I think. Yeah, like 4 or 5. I'm also a weirdo. I know what time it is when I wake up, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It does.
I hate that, too. Like, I'll wake up and be like, I know it's like 4:30. And it'll be like, I mean, I'm off by like 1 or 2 minutes. It'll be like 4:29 or like 4:31. But I know it's like 4 something. Anyway, and so I walk through, and I'm a little black BLK girl. And there is a Confederate soldier standing in my living room.
Ooh.
And he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. Because, of course, I don't know exactly, because I don't know the history at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just 5 years old. And he calls me Hardy R.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, get out of my space. And I was just like, you're in my house. And so I have to go toe-to-toe with a specter who thinks that, like, he belongs here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Like, I was so freaked out. But instead of running, like, my fight or flight must be broken because I didn't fly. And I just kept asking him, what's wrong? And he just said, I want my wife and babies. So that means he didn't ever get to come home.
Yeah.
And so he looked at me and was like, how did I go home? I'm like, you tell me. I don't know. Like, literally 5. Just learned to read. I don't know. So, but what ended up happening is that his frustration was, one, there's a BLK family in his house, but 2, he just wanted to see his family. And I didn't know how to tell him how to get there. Yeah. So he couldn't physically harm me, but he could, like, stick around me.
Right.
And, like, you can't explain to people, like, yeah, this is Steve. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, you can't see him, but people call, they would say that there's something wrong with me. So, but I did figure out finally, because my grandma went and visited the house and she immediately got rid of him. Which, thankfully, because I was like losing weight. I had to go to the pediatrician because I had lost like 2 pounds, 3 pounds in a week because I was so scared to eat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of my.
Well, thank you, Chris.
But yeah, that's not quite the scariest story. Me going to Lake Lanier was probably the worst idea I've ever had. Mm-hmm. I did not get in the water if you're asking, and I left. So don't do that. If anybody else wants to come up, they can. But no, it was super scary. Like, I don't know if you know the history of Lake Lanier.
Nope.
Okay, so Lake Lanier, the town was predominantly BLK people, but they had their own banks, schools, churches. Like, they were the whole entity in the South, in Georgia, by themselves, right? Mm-hmm. So the Klan floods it. I don't know if you can say that. I'm sorry, TikTok shop or whatever. I don't know.
You're fine.
Like, proper word. Okay. And so, but they flooded it. They literally flooded it. The whole town. Gone. It's underwater. It's literally underneath Lake Lanier. And then they built houses. They put a man-made lake. They put kiddie water parks. No regard for the unalive.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was that lake doesn't have like whirlpools or like truly waves, but every year at least 4 or 5 people get sucked under, and people still insist on going. It's like my answers are like, hey, no. Because when I went to go to the lake, something pulled me back, and that year, one of my friends was pulled under. And I was supposed to be there, but I didn't go.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but again, and I felt terrible, but I told them not to go.
Yeah. Like,
I was like, don't go. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, because, okay, I hung out with mostly YT people. I am BLK. And I was just like, you shouldn't go. Like, something said, do not go on that lake today. Mm-hmm. And and then I had another friend. She lost her baby on that lake. Fell out of the boat. And I was just like, why do you keep going? Like, why are you so stubborn? Like, are you trying to prove a point?
Yeah.
No.
Well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry you had to go. Sorry you went through that. That's horrible.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, even though
I got a couple,
morning, but yeah.
And I've got a couple entities on me now, but they're harmless.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They don't bother me.
I mean, honestly, because like there's like a lake that's like about 45 minutes away from where I live, and my brain goes to those places every time I go in the water because.
Mm-hmm.
Like something might drag me under. Might be an entity that drags me under. Might be something that we can't see in the water that's dragging me under. Like, my mind goes to those places, even though those places people go to.
Well, I used to think it was because of horror movies, and then I was like, no, that's for sure not it.
Yeah. So,
I'm like, it's like I mean, I get creeped out in the ocean, but that's for a totally different reason. Mm-hmm. Lakes are different. Like, lakes carry entities. The ocean is, to me, is bottomless, and I don't want to know what's down there. No, thank you. Like, I don't want no parts of that. Like, give me a swimming pool,
Yeah, no, I get it. Hell, even, I'll be honest, like, this is, like, irrational of me, but, like, even pools at night creep me out for some reason.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just like, there's nothing in the water, but it's so dark,
Literally, even if it has, like, lights, but they're never bright enough, and so you're just in this water, like, oh, I'm chilling, and then your brain immediately goes, yeah, something ain't right. I'm getting out.
Something's not right. There's a crocodile in there. There's a caged shark in there that no one's telling me about, So.
Well, in Florida, there could be a crocodile or alligator, so it's not completely irrational. Like, imagine you're chilling and you're just like, oh, you got to run from something that swims for a living. That would shock me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I avoid oceans just because what if I find the dark part? Like, I don't want that.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. I remember a long time ago, my 4th grade teacher went out she was on vacation in Hawaii, and she told us that she realized just how far she swam out into the ocean, and she started seeing fish that were like, like...
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, okay, I'm pretty far away. I need to go back, So...
That's my thing about scuba diving, like... What if I go down and see some stuff I'm not supposed to see and be like, this was fun and all, but
I'm gonna head on out.
Like, I'm leaving the country. What do you mean? Like, the stuff, like, you know how, like, they have the vessels and they're like they have the blob fish which can't even reach surface, and so they look mad crazy, or like the ones with like the lights on their heads. Like, I don't want to see that in person. Some people do. Like, there was a guy that built the submarine. I mean, they didn't make it, but,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they used a PS5 charger or something. I don't know what they did.
Controller.
It was Logitech. That makes it worse.
I know.
That makes it so much worse. Like, you couldn't spring the extra $20.
Right. It's like, not rage quit, throws the controller, everyone else in the subway. What?
Like, can you imagine, like, if they found out the controller was what made it not work? I would be so... If I was Logitech, I'd sue. Like, you can't blame this on me.
Yeah. Well...
Not Logitech, but whatever.
Being here. I appreciate it.
All right, well, I'm going to drop down if anybody else wants to come up. I do have 1.5 million ghost stories, so if nobody else comes up, I'll come back later.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Cool beans. I'm going to drop myself. Thank you. I was going to drop myself. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay. Nah, you gotta drop me. It's not giving me the option.
There we go. Gotcha. Salem 1775 Witches. Thank you for the follow. I love your username, by the way. Alright, yeah, guys, it is spooky season. Whether some of you like it or not, it is spooky season. So if you have a ghost story, click the guest button down below and come on up. Would love to have you on. If not, I'm going to read an article about... Hold on, my brain's buffering right now. The Winchester Mystery House, which I have been to. So, yes, if you have a story you'd like to tell, a story you'd like to share, click the guest button down below. Or if there's like a plus button right here, go ahead and click it. Would love to hear your story. Should probably have these articles ready to go, really. Winchester Mystery House. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm gonna go to that house. How was it? It was fun. That's all I can really say. It was fun. Yeah, thank you, Courtney. It was to me it was just another building. It was no different than like going to like Hearst Castle or something, I didn't really feel much vibes over there. The employees always report. Yes, yeah, I've seen the horror movie on it too. Um, how do you put it? It was just I want to go there at night. The place was a little bit underwhelming for me, despite the design. So it was so bad. All right. Okay. All right. Well, guys, sup, Timmy? Good to see you again. Once again, guys, if you guys have a story you'd like to tell, click the guest button down below or the plus button right here somewhere. And I'd love to have you on as a guest for you to tell your story. Yeah, no, the design's interesting. It really is. All right, who's here? Okay. Come on up, Scorpio Star.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back.
Oh, somebody asked me what house, the Winchester house. I want to go to the Winchester house. Somebody just put in the comments what house. Hello. So, my story tonight is a little bit different, and by no means I don't want anybody to think I'm being warped when I say this. I'm speaking from a medium's point of view. So, first of all, I want to say when we have a loved one that passes away, it's very sad for everybody around, right? But it is the most beautiful experience in the world as a medium that you will ever experience. So me and my aunt were very, very, very close in life. She was my second sister. She was my sister, period. And she died in 2014. Unalived. Sorry. She unalived in 2014, and the signs that were around were insane. So the night before she went into to go to sleep, when she closed her eyes before she unalived, there was a transition there, trying to be appropriate for the TikTok. You get what I'm saying? And so the night before she had went to go to sleep, I saw her fiance that passed away, and he told me, tell her I'm getting ready to come. And can't follow you, Scorpio. I don't know. Sorry, Ren. I'm sorry. Yeah. So the night before she went to sleep, he came to me and he told me, I'll be waiting for her and to forget about everybody she was with. Sorry, I cheated on her. Da 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 da. So I told her, because she happened to have gifts of her own. So she cried and thanked me for that. So now fast forward, the night when she went in, back to the hospital, she had the C word. We're not going to say it here. Mm-hmm. And it was a very bad case of it. And the Ouija board actually told her she was going to get it a couple of years before that, by the way. Mm-hmm. And you can't make this stuff up. And before she went to sleep, the nurse there.
Real quick. Do you mind spelling out the C word? Because I don't know what's going on.
Oh, you don't know what's going on? You mean, the thing everybody gets, cancer?
Yeah, it's okay to say cancer, yeah.
Oh, it is okay? Okay, I didn't know. I'm trying to be, Okay, cancer. She had cancer. She had one cancer. Sorry, guys. Mm-hmm. So the night before when she was in the hospital again, because she was doing really bad that day, and my mom's name was Francine. Now, tell me why the nurse treating her name was Fran. Like, I swear, her name was Fran. And that day, me and my grandmother had went, and we took her to the hospital and stuff, and we're like, all right, we'll be back later. And then when we went back later, we thought she was sleeping, so we left her alone, and we're like, we'll come back tomorrow, whatever. And then we got the phone call at 12 o'clock in the morning. She was in a certain state, and there was nothing else they can do for her. They tried everything. And now, that night, it was so crazy, because then we found out the next day my aunt found out, she's like, oh, Fran called, and my other aunt's like, what did you say? Fran called. My sister hasn't been with us for like 20-something years. What are you talking about? And they're like, oh, the nurse that was with her name was Fran, and she was the one treating her all this time, and she was with her before she closed her eyes. And my aunt was like, wow. And now, fast forward to the hospice, you're going to really freak. My dad's name is Michael. Why was the night hospice nurse's name Michael? And when my mom and dad met, my aunt and my mom were together when they met my dad. When, they met my dad for the first time. And then there was like other crazy signs, like in the hospice thingy. Like, you just started seeing crazy things. And then when she finally took her last breath that night, the hospice, the way it was set up, it's like a house type of thing. It's really beautiful, very peaceful. And they locked the door at night, obviously, but you can come at all hours. So the minute she took her last breath, the doorbell rung, because there's a doorbell there. And the guy came to me and he's like, "Are you expecting anybody?" Because it was me and my cousin, my two cousins, my aunt and my grandmother. They let us stay there because they knew she wasn't going to make it through the night. And I said, "Yeah, I am her friend, but he's like 45 minutes away. He'll be here." He's like, the guy's like, "Well, the doorbell just rung. Somebody was here." And I felt it was my mom because before that, like an hour before that, I seen my mom with my aunt taking her. And she's like, "I'm going." And I'm like, "Okay, I love you." And she's like, "I love you too." And it was just like crazy little signs I saw. Like, okay, my aunt's name was spelled M-A-E, right?
Yeah.
So a couple weeks later, I'm eating a fruit cup, the Dana fruit cup. And mind you, her name is May, but it's M-A-E. So this fruit cup says expires May 15th, but it was spelled my aunt's name, M-A-E, not M-A-Y. Like, it's just a lot of crazy stuff. And real quick, the flowers. There was flowers that my two cousins got her. They knew she loved blue carnations. So after everything happened, we spent the night in the hospice. She, unalived or whatever. So we were all leaving. We're going to the cars, and we all thought each other had the flowers. Like, I seen my one cousin with the flowers. My cousin seen me. Just everybody seen somebody with these flowers. And we get home, get some rest or whatever because it was a long night. And then my grandmother asks me later on that day, she's like, "Desiree, where are the flowers?" I was like, "What? Didn't so-and-so have them?" And she's like, "No, I seen so-and-so." Like, we all were like blaming each other for these flowers. The moral of the story is nobody had these flowers. It was crazy. But, yeah, there's a lot more signs, but I'm not going to get into that on here. But the moral of the story is the spiritual realm is a very beautiful thing. And why I wanted to share this tonight, because anybody that has lost a loved one, I want you to know that they are with you in a different type of way. And it is all part of life. We're here and then we go. It's part of the divine plan. And it may be sad, but it's really beautiful for them. Like, and I don't mean to sound morbid when I say this, because it does sound like kind of morbid, but it's very beautiful for them when they are transitioning. I couldn't even talk. And I just wanted to share that. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, I don't know, but that's my story. I just thought I'd share it tonight.
For sure.
And real quick, something about lakes. Wow. Hearing a lot of interesting things about lakes. So I may go down that rabbit hole now and go see what's up with these lakes. I just know lakes are usually man-made, but wow. Crazy.
Yep. I mean, in my opinion, it started with the lake you brought up in Long Island, and then
Yeah.
it just got here, yeah. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
no, thank you for being here. Everyone follow Scorpio Star. I'm trying to help her boost her life.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
yeah, guys,
Thank you.
follow her.
And everybody go follow you as well.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll be listening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Yeah, if you guys like what you see, you guys like what's going on, you guys like the topic, tap that screen and share it to your friends who are also interested in the paranormal. This is all being screen recorded, so if you missed this live or your friends missed this live, it's going to be on YouTube. Last night's live is already uploaded. I'll make a post about that. David, thank you for the follow. Timmy, welcome back. Oh, Delvey, thank you for the follow. Hey, Timmy.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, welcome back, man.
Thank you. I appreciate what you did, and like I said, I hooked up with Scorpio, and we had a good talk that night, and it was really fun.
for sure, man. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here again, dude. You're always welcome here. Well, it's all you.
So, maybe a question, maybe a statement. I don't know. But I own a barber shop. I'm a barber.
Mm-hmm.
And just really weird shit happens to me all the time because, like, I may not see somebody for a while. You know, they're out of town, out of state, you know, busy. They're not coming in. I may not see them for, like, a few months or maybe even, like, a year or two. And for some reason, I think about them. And then I swear, dude, 2-3 days later, they walk in. Hey, what's going on? And I'm like, it's happened to me multiple times.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, I don't believe in coincidence. So, you know, I think about people, and then all of a sudden they come in.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen them for months or maybe even years. It happens all the time. I just don't understand it.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
It's not a creepy story, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. It just pops in your head out of nowhere. Next thing you know, you see them like shortly after.
It happened to me twice last week.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy I haven't seen for going on 8-9 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he comes to see family and he stops in. You know, it's weird to me.
Yeah. It's a weird phenomenon. Well, if one wants to look at it through a spiritual lens, could probably possibly be your guardian spirits being like, hey, you know, or perhaps the land whites that live with you, or house whites, you know. So
I'm not familiar with those.
Oh, think of them as like land spirits and house spirits in Norse mythology, according to Norse mythology.
I mean, I follow that. I am Norse pagan. I don't think I've ever heard of land whites.
Yeah.
Maybe I just haven't delved into it big enough for the household.
Yeah, ask ChatGPT about it too, and ask Google it. You know. So.
Yeah, I guess. No,
it's interesting.
I'm gonna jump off. My pizza's coming. So hey, thanks for having me.
Enjoy that for me, dude. See, real quick. I gotta talk about this. It's not paranormal related, but I'm lactose intolerant, dude, and I can't have pizza. But damn, it tastes so good, dude. I hate cheese, but the marinara, dude, enjoy that for me, okay?
I'm gonna. I got extra cheese and extra sauce on a meat lovers.
Cheese, bro. Just say I'm taking this one for Sam, man. All right.
With pineapple, though. Sorry, not
sorry.
I love
you pineapple. Guys don't. No, I'm right there with you. I love pineapple on pizza. I'm that guy.
There you go. I love it too. Hey, thanks, buddy.
No
Take
problem,
care.
Man. You too.
And Scorpio, thank you. You got to follow me back because your privacy setting, I can't follow you.
Take care, brother.
So, thank you, bro. See you later.
3 nights in a row. Yeah, Ham. So like my new schedule is Tuesdays to Fridays, 7 p.m. Pacific time to 9 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, and plus every live is gonna get recorded, so it'll be on my YouTube channel. If you guys miss a live, you guys want to fall asleep to something, have some ASMR playing in the background, you know. So you'll just hear my voice a lot, repeating myself usually. So, but yeah, guys, there's no one in the queue right now. If any of you want to share your story, click the guest button down below, or the plus button right here. There's the plus button. And yeah, I would love to have you on. Thank you for the likes, Briz Ross. I see you. Thank you. Briz Ross, excuse me. Riz Ross. Gosh darn it, man. It is Briz Ross. Oh my goodness. Okay. With that being said, I am gonna read an article about the Winchester Mystery House. Anyway, me showing off my death growl skills. Okay. Why people believe California's Winchester Mystery House is haunted. Some people is invited me to co-host. I don't know them. They're not even on the live. Shelly Nason, thank you. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. We're at 15,000 likes. Thank you guys. All right. A grieving widow and mother oversaw construction of the maze-like Victorian-era mansion. Few places in America embody the blurred lines between history, architecture, and legend as vividly as the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. With staircases that lead to nowhere, hidden passageways and doors that open into solid walls, the Victorian-era mansion has earned its place as one of the nation's most iconic haunted sites. Its eerie reputation is rooted in a past shaped by grief, superstition, and centuries worth of storytelling, carrying forward a legacy that still defines this house today. You know what? Let me pause right here. I wish that California maintained its Victorian-like architecture. But that's just me, my inner goth talking. Anyway. Uh-oh, did I do that? Thank you for following me. Briz Ross, thank you for the likes again. Alright. Since 1923, from around the world, since 1923, guests from around the world have paid to visit to try and answer the many whys associated with Sarah Winchester and her mystery home. Hi, Fusion of Terra. Says Walter Magnuson, Executive Director of... Let me read that all again. Don't have dyslexia and a slight stutter. It's not fun. But West Coast has the vampires. Only in Santa Carla, my friend. Thank you, Fusion. I wish I was not afraid of talking something. Can you sleep there? Hold on, let me check that comment. Wish I was not afraid of talking something home with me. Can you sleep there? Taken. For sure. Alright, let me read that again. Since 1923, guests from around the world have paid us a visit to try and answer the whys and associated with Sarah Winchester and her mysterious home, says Walter Magnuson, Executive Director of the Winchester Mystery House. Most leave inspired, and some depart with more questions than answers. Sarah Winchester's story. Following the Civil War, the Winchester Pew Pew, yes, we're going to use Pew Pew, I know it's funny, laugh at Pew Pew, became a fixture among settlers migrating to the American West. Yeehaw! Branded as the Pew Pew that won the West, it became a symbol of manifest destiny and an instrument of conquest. The fortune behind the rifle's success ultimately passed to Sarah Lockwood Pardee Winchester, wife of William Wirt Winchester and heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. Thank you for FYP, appreciate that. When her infant daughter, Abby, unalived in 1866, following her husband's unaliving from tuberculosis in 1881, Sarah Winchester was left with immense wealth, but few remaining ties to family. Here's a quote. Far from the spectral figure enveloped in superstition, Sarah Winchester emerges from historical records as a complex, resilient, and intelligent woman, said Karen Stolznow, a linguist and author of Haunting America. She was an independently wealthy woman with an interest in architecture and desire for privacy. Encounter a real vampire? I've always wondered if they're real. I've always wondered too, Shelley. In the years that followed, Sarah left her home in New Haven, Connecticut, and made her way to the West. A house without a blueprint. Let me stop right here. Before I continue, thank you for the likes, everybody. If anyone has a story they'd like to tell, click the guest button down below. I would love to have you on. I love the way the house looks. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a castle. The real shizzle is voodoo, but energy vampires are French, and they exist. No, I've met some energy vampires. Yeah. Anyway, returning to the article. In 1884, Sarah purchased an unfinished 8-room farmhouse in California's Santa Clara Valley. Construction continued until her unaliving in 1922. Without formal blueprints or a master plan, the modest home evolved into a 24,000 square foot labyrinth featuring 160 rooms, 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, and countless architectural oddities. Imagine it feels like a real maze that, imagine being thrown into that without a map of getting out, all that stuff. Just like, imagine that being like something on Saw or something, you know? Anyway, exactly, who needs 2,000 doors? You know, my thoughts exactly. During Sarah's lifetime, stories spread that she was building to appease the spirits of those unalived by Winchester rifles. This legend became the basis for the house's haunted reputation and remains central to how the home is understood today. Sitting in my garage trying to trap a raccoon, and I love his oh, thank you, I appreciate that. The property's maze-like design disorients visitors, making them more susceptible to interpreting ordinary occurrences as supernatural ones. Psychological phenomena like pareidolia, I know I butchered that, and confirmation bias explain why people may perceive ghosts, find meaning or patterns where none exist, and reinforce supernatural beliefs they may already have, which is a valid point. Others may have a more nuanced interpretation. The house was never designed to confuse spirits, but to accommodate her evolving ideas, her health needs, and her aesthetic tastes, says Stallsnow. Its odd features mostly the result of earthquake damage, remodeling interpretations, or later additions made her unaliving to enhance the mystery. New followers here. Yeah, everyone that's new, welcome. Thank you for the follow, and if you guys want to see my schedule, it is pinned on my profile. So, the house draws interest amid spiritualism craze. The house is partly informed by the era in which it was built. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, spiritualism, a movement centered in communicating with the unalived, captivated the American public. Seances and spirit photography become popular among the grieving upper class. Yep. DC, huh? Right here in California. Sarah's reputed interest in spiritualism and seances is unsubstantiated by direct evidence and is likely a conflation with cultural trends of the spiritualism era and a case of mistaken identity with other local figures, says Stallsnow. Her veiling and seclusion were likely due to rheumatoid arthritis and concerns about her appearance, not otherworldly fears. Yeah. Yellow journalism, sensationalist reporting, also played a role in cementing the house's reputation. Following Sarah's unaliving, newspapers seized on rumors and speculation, printing dramatic headlines that branded the mansion a spirit house. By the time the house opened to the public in the 1920s, its ghostly backstory was already its main attraction. An 1895 San Jose Evening News article titled "A Woman Who Thinks She Will Unalive When Her House Is Built" planted early seeds of superstition and speculation that grew into the elaborate ghost stories we hear today, explains Stalls Now. Today, the narrative endures, amplified by pop culture, tourism, and paranormal media. Ghost tours offered daily invite visitors to walk the winding halls, hear tales of phantom footsteps and cold spots, and maybe catch a glimpse of Sarah herself. I have experienced windows slamming shut during meetings as if they were exclamation points on the topic being discussed, doors slowly opening down the hall as I approached, and voices in the adjacent room when I believed I was the only person on site, says Magnuson. You never feel alone at the Winchester Mystery House. Stopping right there. If anyone has a story they'd like to share, click the guest button down below. Would love to have you on. And if you like what you hear, if you like this live, thank you, Briz Roz. I appreciate you. Keep liking it. Tap that screen. And share this with people. Share this with people that are into the supernatural. Let this live blow up. Hashtag FYP. Thank you, Sahara. Lena, hey, how you doing? Returning. Thank you for spelling my name right, by the way. It bugs me when people call me Samuel. I'm like, I'm not a mule, bro. Nothing much, just reading this article. Thank you, Sean. More than a house. Some believe Sarah's constant remodeling was an early form of trauma processing, a physical way to stay busy and regain control after a deep personal loss, which you can't blame her. The house, with its shifting halls and labyrinth wings, can be read as a metaphor for grief. In recent years, Sarah has also been re-examined as a feminist icon, a woman who defied expectations, refused to remarry, and followed her own path. Good on her. Her focus on environmental design, water conservation, and modern conveniences like steam heating and elevators suggest a forward-thinking mindset, says Stalls Now. I hope I'm not butchering her name. Moreover, Sarah was a philanthropist. And contrary to the image of a reclusive madwoman, she maintained relationships with family members, employed and treated her staff generously, and was a private but socially engaged individual within her community. And this article was by Crystal Ponte. All right. That's the Winchester Mystery House. That's the Winchester Mystery House. So, we're back at the same question that I'm going to keep repeating. If you have a story that you'd like to share, I would love to have you on. Please come on. Anyway. Thank you for the share, Fusion of Tarot. If there's a case you guys would like me to look up, there's a famous haunting you guys would like me to look up, type it in the chat. Let me know. I would love to keep reading. I need to like get all these haunting cases to just like put them in line together, just for these lives. It's always new people, and I appreciate that. Thank you for the likes. I see those likes spamming. Thank you. So, it's hard for me to think of some. I wish I could look up Santa Carla, but that's not real. Best vampire movie ever, Lost Boys. My opinion, way better than Interview with the Vampire. I love Interview with the Vampire. So. Anyway. Yeah, heard about the Annabelle's owner. Isn't she still with the Warren's Museum? Did they reclaim her? Also, I can look up a vampire case about, oh my god, let me put this aside real quick. Hauntings in Japan are on a different level compared to American hauntings. What works against hauntings here in the US will not work in Japan. Different ball game, different beast. I know some people don't like hearing that, but that's the truth. I've experienced it myself. It's not fun. For sure, yes, the Annabelle got relocated then, yeah. I could look up the Annabelle story. Can tell you why? Can you tell us why? I had a personal experience that happened there. Everyone's heard it a million times, but entities of mythology over there are very different. Think of them as this does not work against them. It doesn't. Trust me, after my experience, I was very Catholic at the time, and prayers didn't do squat. So, not a dog against Catholicism, but it's just a different field over there. Anyway. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, if you have a story, like, I'm not saying I'm not going to read any stories about Japan, but if you have a story about the Philippines, once again, Asia's a different ball game, man. That place is, regarding Supernatural, not the TV show, it's freaking terrifying, man. It is, yeah, no, it's terrifying. Yeah. Like I said, stuff that works over here regarding like exorcisms kind of stuff will not work over there. Like, it has to be their own kind. Like something Shinto based that will work over there. That's just how the ball game is over there. So I don't know why I'm getting a bit passionate about it, but that's just how it is. Okay, yeah, but let me hear from you guys. Ah, the unalive forest, self-unalive forest, yeah. So, if you guys want to hear a story, a haunting in Japan, I could talk about the Himuru Mansion, which the game Fatal Frame is based off of. It's a real-life mansion, and it's really haunted over there. Let me know. Or if you guys want to hear about vampire cases in New Orleans that I've heard from guides over there, let me know. Japan or New Orleans vampires, let me know. Yeah, I used to have Fatal Frame. Still the scariest game I've ever played. Ever. Japan. Alright, Japan's got it. Heather Cooper, welcome back. I missed you. Yes, on vampires. Okay, vampires will come right after this. Oh my god. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, no, Fatal Frame's amazing. It's to me the first one hands down. The first one hands down. I love unscripted encounters in that game. It's so there's no other game does that. No other game does that. From New Orleans that lives there. It says he's a vampire. I swear he's really. Yeah, Lena. Yeah. Yeah, no, best game ever. Alright, Himuru Mansion. Himuro, excuse me. Gotta wait for this to load. This is coming from the site called Ghost Machine. It's been a long time coming after you, my friend. That just came out of nowhere. I love the band Ghost, ADHD. Anyway, many legends of Himuro Mansion unraveling the truth of Japan's infamous Fatal Frame house. Yep, there's the mansion. Here's a picture of the mansion. Oh, I love Ghost. Yeah. Very inspirational in my opinion. You'll find it often on lists of alleged haunted places to visit in Japan. There's so many haunted locations there. It's not even funny. You'll also find it frequently cited in pieces claiming to get a real story inspiration behind Fatal Frame. I'm sweating. Jeez. It looms large in many imaginations, filled with ghosts and yurei and the flash of an ancient camera. I'm talking, of course, about Himuro Mansion, the haunted Japanese manor home, allegedly located somewhere near Tokyo, outskirts of Tokyo. I was stationed there, never went there. I knew better. That said, to have a very tragic history that will truly make one's hair stand at the end. Yokohama, yeah. But when it comes to the Himuro Mansion, which you might sometimes see referred to as Himikuru Mansion, although less frequently so, nothing is quite as it seems, and the real story is much more complicated than you might think. I first learned of the legend of Himuro Mansion some years ago, and after a lot of digging, I arrived at the conclusion that the place likely didn't exist. Okay. I wrote about it for The Toast way back in 2014, approaching it from an angle of what made the story believable in the first place, and why I think haunted house stories matter in the grand scheme of things. Many years later, after much more research, I still don't think Himuro Mansion is a real place, but I think the story is worth examining again. This time, to take a deeper look into where all of the elements of the legend came from, because although I did touch on some of this place in my investigation, it turns out that there are further depths to plumb. Let's begin, shall we? Let me take some water real quick. I'm sweating. Got the AC on, thankfully. Hydrate, people. It's summer, and summer sucks. Oh boy. The legend of Himuro Mansion. The story goes a little something like this. Outside Tokyo, somewhere in the mountains, there's a crumbling mansion, an old one, built of course in the Japanese style rather than the Western one. It's unclear precisely how old the place actually is, although we know it dates further back than the late Edo period, making it at least 200 years old, although it's likely much older. Oh yeah, hell yeah, Diego, we're doing this. But it's not just a residence. There's more there than just the mansion, you see. There are also a variety of outbuildings and other structures, all significant because Himuro Mansion is also a religious and spiritual site. It's home to a Shinto shrine and temple, and also a gate to the demon realm. It's said that there was once a ritual carried out in Himuro Mansion once every 10 years. The binding ritual. A girl would be chosen and raised on the grounds, hidden away from the world to prevent her from forming any earthly attachments, particularly attachments to other people. Thank you for the follow, Chris. When the ritual was finally performed, She would be unalived in, as an offering, her body and spirit given up to keep the demon gate closed up tight. Her unaliving would be a gruesome one and painful, involving the tying of ropes to her limbs and neck and cranking of a wheel until everything. But 1 year, sometime in the previous century, the ritual failed, despite being sequestered away for 10 long years. The girl met someone and she fell in love. And because of this love, this attachment, the ritual could not be carried out. In shame, the family charged with performing the ritual, the Himuro family, all perished as a result. Some at the hands of the family patriarch, others by self-unaliving. But wait, maybe that's not it. Maybe the story is simpler. Maybe it's just the mansion was a site of one of the most horrific unalivings in Japanese history, with 7 people unaliving in a truly ghastly fashion. For all of its infamy, the unalivings remain unexplained to this very day. Or maybe it's both. Maybe the 7 unalivings occurred at the mansion sometime after the failed ritual, the victims falling prey to whatever might be walking to the grounds as a result of the ritual's failure. Maybe the 7 unalivings occurred during the failed ritual. Maybe these are the unalived Himuros unalived by their patriarch as the price for their failure. Or maybe not. Regardless, the mansion is said to have been vacant for years, falling gradually into ruin. But if you were to go to it, you might witness some activity. You might see phantom splatters of human liquid appearing on the walls. You might see you might see the figure of a girl hovering in a particular window should you snap a photo of it. A girl who you'd swear wasn't present at the time the photo was taken. And if you are particularly unlucky, you might end up other equally unlucky visitors to the mansion have ended their time there, broken with marks around their wrists, as if they had been tied with ropes and pulled. That's if you're able to find the place, of course. The exact location of Himuro Mansion is always left out of these stories, an omission which has ensured that most of the talked about element of the legend is where it actually is, outside of Tokyo. Isn't terribly specific after all. People want to know where they need to go if they actually want to see it, even if they know that such a visit would be unwise. The trouble is, there may not actually be a way to visit. In all probability, Himuro Mansion doesn't exist. Not in reality, and not likely even in the realm of folklore. So where does it actually come from? That's a complicated question to answer. But it all comes back to one thing. It comes back to a video game. I'm going to stop right here. The article still goes. If you like this live, if you like what you see, thank you for the likes. Keep liking this. Smash that like button, guys. Put this on people's FYPs. Send this to people that you know are into the paranormal. And of course, if you have a story you'd like to tell, click the guest button down below, and I would love to have you as a guest. One more thing for the new people. I do ghost story narrations. So if you have a story you'd like me to narrate, DM it to me. Type it out, send it to me. And I'll make a TikTok video about it. I'll put it on Instagram and tag you and add you as a collaborator on Instagram. Or if you wish to remain anonymous, that's perfectly valid. That's fine. So, once again, thank you for the likes. We're at 36,000 likes, guys. You guys are the best. Continuing, though. The video game Fatal Frame Connection, Part 1. There are two main pieces of the legend of Himuro Mansion. Two pieces which, over time, has sort of merged into one. Thank you, Chris. Both of them, though, are ultimately two sides of the same coin, and the key to getting to the bottom of the mystery surrounding the alleged mansion's existence. The first piece of the legend, the bit about Himuro Mansion having once been a site of a ritual performed to keep the demon gate closed, and about what happened when it failed, is easy to debunk. It's literally the backstory of the first Fatal Frame game. So just for context too, Fatal Frame has a tagline that says based on a true story. Same kind of thing one would see in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So according to just Chainsaw Massacre is a skewed version of that tale. It's just about a serial unaliver that was in suburban neighborhoods doing this to people, unaliving them. And they just made a whole crazy story about this person, That's not accurate. Same thing with Project Zero. Same thing with Fatal Frame. It's based on a true story, but which parts of it are true, which parts of it are false? I know, Ed Gein, I know. Released in Japan 2001 under the title Project Zero, with localizations arriving under its better-known English name in North America and in Europe in 2002, Fatal Frame is now a classic of the survival horror genre, developed for the PlayStation 2. It's now merely a first entry in a franchise spanning 5 main titles and several spin-offs, along with a handful of other pieces of related media. Oh my god. Fatal Frame Project Zero sees players taking on the role of Miku Hinasaki, who in 1986 visits Himuro Mansion in search of her missing brother. While she's there, she encounters many ghost spirits haunting the place. Whew. God, it's hot. Ghosts and spirits which can only be kept at bay with the aid of a modified camera called the Camera Obscura, and unravels the history of the location as she goes. So in the game, you use cameras to exorcise the spirits. Take photos of them. The history includes the ritual called the Strangling Ritual, and the moment in 1837 that it failed, an event termed the Calamity. The unalivings caused by the Calamity, however, are much greater than those in the oft-repeated version of the Himuro Mansion legend. Within the game's mythology, the incident claimed the lives of 1,347 people, those both living in the mansion and those living in the nearest village. Okay, stupid ads. The final boss of the game is the spirit of the girl who was meant to be unalived as an offering, the Rope Shrine Maiden, and the year the strangling ritual failed. It's worth noting, by the way, that the lore of Fatal Frame Himuro Mansion is... Whoops. What's going on? Oh my goodness. My iPad, my tablet just went to the home screen for some weird reason. Like, no, don't read this. Okay. It's worth noting, by the way, that the lore of Fatal Frame Himuro Mansion is meant to be located not outside of Tokyo, but in what was once the Mutsu province, an area in the northeast of Japan around where Fukushima, Miyagi, Iwate, and Aomori prefectures are now. Let me read that again. It's worth noting, by the way, that the lore of Fatal Frame Himuro Mansion is meant to be located not outside of Tokyo, but in what was once the Mutsu province. So Mutsu province, if you're interested, look that up. An area in the northeast of Japan where Fukushima, Miyagi, Iwate, and Aomori prefectures are now. It was disestablished in 1869, a little more than 30 years after the calamity is said to have taken place, according to the in-game mythology. Significantly, one Japanese superstition positions northeast as an inauspicious direction. I don't know what inauspicious means. It's where demons and evil spirits are said to come from. Put in another way, it's where the demon's gate, what Westerners might think of the Hellmouth, is believed to lie. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Dang, we're at 42,000. You guys are the best. But the whole story is fiction. There's no such ritual as the Strangling Ritual. There's no rope shrine maiden, and there was no calamity in 1837. Within the in-game universe of Fatal Frames, it's canon, but none of it actually ever happened in reality. And because none of it actually happened, there is no actual location in Japan that played a host to any of these events either. Thank you for the rose, Janelle. But what about the Legend's second piece? The one about the 7 unalivings, which may or may not have be connected to the Strangling Ritual. That's a bit more difficult to untangle. Although it is still ultimately leads back to Fatal Frame in more ways than one. I think it might be a haunted video game. Oh. Whew. I'm starting to feel that AC. Nice. Fatal Frame Connection, Part 2. If you like this article, type in a thumbs up. Put in a thumbs up emoji. Jesus. Okay. Fatal Frame Connection, Part 2. Some retellings of the Himuro Mansion legend acknowledge Fatal Frame's setting, and the ritual that allegedly took place at it are indeed fictional. Awesome. Awesome. I'm just really hot right now. Sweatier than usual. Are indeed fictional. However, they also go on the posit that although the ritual and the mansion themselves aren't real, they're both based on something real, either an actual location or an extant piece of folklore. I know, I got water right here. It's not cold though. I want some cold water. I'm just wearing velvet to look cool. Thank you for the thumbs up, guys. Salem, thank you. Salem and Chris, Fusion, Sinner, Cirque, Dudelia, thank you for the thumbs up. Briz Roz, thank you guys, thank you. Fusion, thank you guys, really appreciate that. All right. The main piece of evidence supporting this take is an oft-quoted soundbite. What the hell? The main piece of evidence supporting this take is an oft-quoted soundbite from Fatal Frame director Makoto Shibata that reads as follows. In an area outside of Tokyo, there lies a mansion in which is said 7 people were unalived in a grisly manner. On the same property, there lie 3 detached residences that surround the mansion, all of which are rumored to have ties to the mansion's troubled past. It's said there is an underground network of tunnels that lay beneath the premises, but nobody knows who made these tunnels or what purposes they served. Many inexplainable phenomenon have been reported occurring on the property. Handprints of human red liquid may have been found splattered all over the walls. Spirits have been spotted on the premises, even in broad daylight. A narrow stairway leads to an attic where spirit sealed its talisman is rumored to be locked away. Men have sought this talisman, only to be found later with their bodies broken and rope marks around their wrists. 11:11, yeah. There's a crumbling, it's 8:11 here, but for sure. It's probably a sign for you, Scorpio Star. There's a crumbling old statue of a woman in a kimono, but its head is missing. If you take a photo of a certain window, a young girl can be seen in the developed picture. These incidents have provoked fear in the people of Tokyo, and many believe that those who live near the area will become cursed. The unalivings of those 7 people are unexplained to this day. So just for concepts, guys, just for context, the Japanese culture is very superstitious. For sure, Sarah, take your time. Yeah, the Japanese are very superstitious over there in Japan. And me experiencing some of the things there, I see why. I understand why. She was interesting Scorpio Star. Here you'll find all the elements of Himuro Mansion legend mixed up into one. The 7 unalivings, the suggestion of a ritual, and the eyewitnesses' reports have allegedly said now occur on the property. You'll find this exact photograph reproduced word for word pretty much everywhere that buys the claim that Himuro Mansion was based on something that predates Fatal Frame, either an actual place or an existing land, but it's never properly sourced. It's always identified by something Shibata said in an interview, and sometimes noted as a description of an actual inspiration for the game setting. However, precisely what interview the quote was found is never named or credited, and it's certainly never linked. It took me some time, but I was eventually able to track down the original source of this quote and exactly what the source turned out to be telling. It isn't really an interview, you see. Not in the journalistic sense, at least. It's not a reported piece on the game or a profile of its creator or anything of the sort. It's a press release. That is the piece of marketing released by Tecmo as part of the ad campaign for the game. And here is where we have to start considering what might be the most significant piece of the puzzle. In North America, Fatal Frame was marketed as being based on a true story. There we go again, you know. The phrase is even included right there in the title screen when you boot up the game. True story. Yep. You guys can see it. That's the opening title screen. But this angle was not presented in the Japanese release. You don't see based on a true story in the Japanese release. What's more, the press release containing the quotation that discusses the alleged real basis for Himuro Mansion was produced specifically for North America release of Fatal Frame. I found no equivalents in Japanese, nothing at all similar from the original release in 2001. Additionally, I found nothing, not a single thing, written in English or in Japanese about the haunted house legend, fitting the description of the one in the press release outside the context of Fatal Frame. And I'm not the only one either. Others researching and writing in a variety of languages have also come up empty, finding evidence of neither house nor unalivings nor legend at all. At this point, so much digging and so many angles, I can only assume that I'm finding nothing because there is truly nothing to find. I brought this point up. The presence versus absence of the based on a true story claim is one of the main factors around which my piece on Himuro Mansion for the Toast hinged. I can only theorize about why this angle was brought in the North American release. I suspect it has everything to do with the recent success of the Blair Witch Project and a desire to hop on the gravy train as quickly as possible, but no matter what the reasoning behind the choice might have been, the fact remains that it was brought in for a North American release when it had never previously been part of the game's mythology. Oh my god, it's so hot. I'm gonna take a good shower after this. I also think it's worth noting that previously I hadn't tracked down the source of Shibata's quote on the subject or linked to the based on a true story angle in quite the way I've been able to do at this time. But that connection and nature of its source are both important. They confirm much more concretely an idea I hitherto only found suggestion of. Let me take a deep breath. Hold on. The legend of the Himuro Mansion is entirely manufactured from top to bottom, and that it was done so in the service of Fatal Frame's release in North America. Damn, this is a long-ass freaking article. Basically, this article is pretty much disproving okay. Once again, guys, if you guys like this, share this. Share the hell out of this. Like the hell out of this. 50,000 likes. Wow, guys. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you guys want to take a break from this, definitely click the guest button down below, and I would love to hear your own ghost story. But aside from that, I'll keep going. The Weeping Tree and Other Stories, still connected to Himuro. This isn't to say that, by the way, that Fatal Frame has no basis in extent in it. This isn't to say, by the way, that Fatal Frame has no basis in extant folklore. In fact, the entire franchise is heavily informed by Japanese folklore and urban legends, especially when it comes to designs of the ghost and various supernatural phenomena experienced throughout the games. Why am I sweating so freaking bad? Some specific legends are even directly incorporated into the series. For instance, Miku's doll in Fatal Frame 3 is unmistakably drawn from the well-known legend of the Haunted of the Okiku doll. The traditional Japanese tale whose hair is said to grow to great lengths all on its own. Heck, there's a second photograph contained within the press that I pointed out to the source of the Shibata soundbite that checks out in a way the first paragraph doesn't. After describing the alleged house, which supposedly served as the inspiration of Himuro Mansion, the press release goes on to further quote Shibata on the folkloric roots of one of the game's subplots. In the same region, there's a tree that is said to weep like a young woman. Many traffic accidents have occurred near this tree, and there have been many accounts of people seeing a young woman's ghost. Two lovers used to meet at this tree every night. Although they loved each other very much, they were not allowed to see each other because of the difference in social standings. Social standings, social standings, social standings, social standings. Is it a female spirit around you? I don't know. I don't know, maybe. If there is a female spirit around me, they know I respect it. And I only mean it well. after everything they've been through. I only mean it well. The young girl couldn't stand the pain, so she unalived herself from the tree. Ever since then, it's said the tree weeps in sorrow. One day a young man chopped down the tree, hoping that he can get rid of the area of the ghost and its cursed past. The young shared firewood from the tree. The youth shared the firewood around the tree with the families in the area. Since then, those people are reported to have unalived with no medical explanation why. The young man who chopped down the tree also disappeared without a trace. Let me take a drink of water. Yeah. You know, as someone who's not a medium, when spirits find a house to occupy, in my theory, they're no different than us. Yeah, they have personalities and all, but like us, they want shelter too. You know? Some may view the whole outside world to be like their home and their shelter, you know? Nothing holds them back, but some maybe just want a home. Some might get defensive about their home, you know? But not to excuse their behavior. Welcome back, Sierra. Not to excuse their behavior, but they may just be looking for a home. All right. An instance in the same region refers to that location. This quotation originally pinpointed on the area in which the supposed mansion is allegedly positioned. That is, in an area outside of Tokyo. According to Tara A. Devlin of the excellent Kowabana Content Network, however, this folktale, usually called something like the Weeping Tree, doesn't originate in a region near Tokyo, but rather in one up north, in Hokkaido. They want shelter too, not combative. They are quiet and want to get along. Yeah, that's valid. Very, very valid, Ruth. That can definitely be a possibility. No doubt about that. Spirit, it's not just good and evil. There's a whole they all have personalities to them, regardless what kind of spirit they are. You know, there's gray areas. It's not just black and white. Devlin cites a variety of different tales associated with the Weeping Tree, one in which, almost beat for beat, the ones specified in the Fatal Frame press release. Another version called The Spirit of the Willow Tree in the 1918 book Ancient Tales and Folklore of Japan, Richard Gordon Smith positions the tale in Kyoto. Yeah, Sean, by all means, jump on. Let me just finish this paragraph and I'll let you on. It's a bit more mystical than spooky. The star-crossed lovers aren't separated by class and don't unalive by self-unaliving. Rather, the woman isn't a woman at all, but the spirit of the willow tree, she is a spirit from her true love. She is a spirit from her true love, and in this version, their child, when the tree to which she is tied is chopped down. Not for sure, Sean. Take your time. Either way, it's easy to see the inspiration of the Weeping Tree's story in Fatal Frame. The reason for the strangling ritual... No, stop. The reason for the strangling ritual is said to have failed due to the same type of star-crossed romance. Alright, Yokai Parade. Okay, that's it. Yep, that's it. Oh my god. Ugh. Running out of breath for this article. Alright. Come on, come on, come one, come all to the yokai parade. Furthermore, although Makoto Shibata has not, as far as I know, spoken in any Japanese interviews about a specific real-life haunted house that may or may not have served as the basis for Fatal Frame's Himuro Mansion, he has talked at length about the things that did inspire him, including actual supernatural experiences that he's had. Hey Scorpio Star, if you don't mind me asking, do you see anything around me? I'm curious. Oops. It just popped out of the article. Alright, Yokai Parade. Alright. I'm gonna let Scorpio start up for a little bit, then I'll get back to the story.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me because I jumped off of here and I heard you say something about seeing something around you?
Yeah, do you see anything around me? Because I'm sweating more than usual. It's not like
I knew you were talking to me. Are you okay? So what I see is like you're overwhelmed. First of all, like I think you got a lot going on in your brain, and I think the velvet is probably not helping. It looks amazing, by the way, but it is hot out, and you're nervous. You're nervous about something that's coming up. You're just a little nervous about something. Sure. And I don't see a woman around you. I don't know. I don't see that, but you know, you do got spirit guides around you that you work with, you know, and you do have amazing energy, but you're going to be all right. You just got to calm down. It's like, I feel like you're anxious. Like you're ready for this stuff to happen. Everything you got going on. It's like, come on, let's go already. Let's get this show off the road.
Yeah. For those that don't know, I'm starting fresh with my new music project. I'm like this close to finishing the song right now, and I'm just
up all night, not sleeping, stressing out. It has to stop. I'm cleaning your energy, and I'm sending you positive energy as we're talking right now. Cool. And I want you to get some sleep tonight, and I want you to relax, and everything is going to be okay. I promise. Rome was not built overnight. All your dreams and stuff are coming true. Forget the haters, block out the negativity, and just breathe and relax and get you some sleep tonight.
Sounds good.
All right?
Thank you.
Sending you so much love and light.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not anxious, but like a lot is going on in my head. So, but thank you, Scorpio Star. Follow her, guys. Follow her. Follow Sean, too. Sean's been an OG, all right? He's been here since the very beginning, all right? Great guy. Great guy. All right. Shibata has told one particular story several times. When he was a child, he believes he witnessed a Hyakiyago, a yokai parade, a demon parade, basically. Shibata's family home was right at the bend of a long open country road. As he described it in an interview translated at the website FF Fatal Frame Translations, along which was a small shrine, said Shibata. Often I would wake inside my futon in the middle of the night. Okay. And there would be hundreds of presences coming down the road. In hushed, whispering voices, they would say things that I couldn't catch, slowly walking along, feeling the width of the road. He noted that the presences always seemed to be coming from the shrine. Then once they turned the curve in front of the house, they would disappear. Interesting. Along the road was a small shrine. It seemed as though the presences were coming from there. Once they reached the curve of the road, they would always vanish. He felt that he shouldn't look directly at the parade. However, to do so, he worried might prompt the presences to start charging towards him. Later on, though, his father gave him a camera to play with, and he wondered what would happen if he used this to take a photo of the procession without looking directly at it. Many years later, this idle thought grew into the idea of Fatal Frame's main weapon, a source of protection, the camera obscura. We're almost done with the article, guys. Alright. Shibata has also had plenty to say about the unique charm of the Japanese houses, highlighting why Fatal Frame's setting is such a character of its own. In contrast to the solid architecture of the West, Japanese houses are divided by fragile materials such as wood and paper doors. Loosely connected to the outside air, the ventilation is good, and the soft light filters in through the paper doors, Shibata said, again in the piece translated. On the other hand, there are lots of hiding places, he continued. Behind folding screens, under the floor, atop the criss-crossing beams on the other side of a lattice, a warm darkness resides everywhere. It's a warm darkness that gradually seeps into your body as you stand there. Perhaps the reason why it seems as though something is lurking in the space you suddenly look is because Japanese houses are made from living materials, starting with wood that has breathed and passed the time alongside their residents. Maybe because of this, it seems to me that the emotions of the people who have been there have seeped into the wooden Japanese houses. Meager happiness, small sentimentalities, terrible memories, all of it. When I immerse myself in the darkness, I feel as though the memories of the deceased are secretly whispering to me. 61,000 likes. That's a record, guys. Thank you. Shibata certainly believes in ghosts and the power of history, and it's the personal connection that makes the Fatal Frame game so effective. This is what Shibata experiences, and he wants to share what it's like to experience it with the rest of the world too. And what better medium is there than a video game, especially one whose story blurs the lines between fiction and reality. Reservation and ghost stories. Yeah, Ratchad, by all means, click the guest button down below, and I'd love to have you on. Almost done with the article. Almost done. Will the real Himuro Mansion please stand up? It's worth noting, by the way, that there are actual Shinto shrines and temples in Japan bearing the name Himuro. The most famous is Himuro Shrine in Nara, where the deer are. It's dedicated to the guardian deity of ice and refrigeration. Indeed, the direct translation of Himuro, something like ice house or cold room, there's a shaved ice festival there that's usually held during the first week of May. If you're into kakigori, you'll definitely want to check it out if you're into the area, if you're in that area at all. But there are others as well. For instance, there's an old temple called Himuro Yakushi in the Miyagi prefecture. Although it was previously known as Murakamiji, furthermore, numerous other Himuro shrines can be found in places such as Iwata in Shizuoka in Kyoto, and in Yamanashi. All of these is to say that Himuro isn't exactly a unique name. Ice, I know, right? Ice. This is one of the water. I need ice in my water. This is one of the reasons why it's easy to discount random people on the internet, saying the last remaining Himuro alive, since the name is fairly common. It's unlikely any of these claims are true. Alright, we're at the conclusion. You may not be able to visit the Himuro Mansion shrine itself, but you can visit a Himuro shrine, as long as you don't mind that there won't be any rope shrine maidens for you to face off against while you're there. Of course, it's always been noted that Himido Mansion might be a pseudonym, a false name given to mask the real one and protect the location and the actual mansion. I made sure to divorce the search from the specific name precisely for this reason, and I still come up empty. But hope springs eternal, I guess. But even if the place did exist, would you really want to chance going there? After all, it doesn't seem to have gone well for anyone else. If the stories are to be believed, that is, do you believe them? And and more importantly, would you be willing to wager your life against that belief? I wouldn't, but that's just me. All right, gonna take a swig of water and bring on our next guest. Oh boy. What I would do to live in Europe. Racha Chad Designs, you're up. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, thank you for being here. How old are you?
I'm actually 50.
50? 50?
Yeah.
Perfect. Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to say fuck here and there. And try not to get too fanatical. It's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy. That being said, it's all you.
No, I just want to share my, this is my grandma's story. She lived on the Seneca Nation reservation. Her house is like over 200 years old. She's passed now. She's not with me anymore or with us. But she did tell me a story. This is her story. She told me that she was sleeping on a hot summer night, probably like July, and that it was maybe like 1 or 2 a.m. and my cousin was living with her. He was like in his later 20s and 30s, and he would come and go as he pleased. You know, he's older, so she's not like having a time. You know, not like he was a young kid. He just could come and go as he pleased, and so she went up to bed. And this house that she lives in is like I said, it's over 200 years old. It was a speakeasy at one point, but back to the story. She said she was sleeping it was like 1 or 2 in the middle of the night, and she said, and her stairs are really super creaky. Like if you go up her stairs, each step you take, it creaks, right? That her stairs, like she has like old-fashioned stairs where it has a door that leads up to the stairs. It's like it has a latch lock thing, old-fashioned latch lock, and they like curve up to upstairs. But she said she could hear somebody walking up the stairs, and they're creaking, and they walked up the stairs, and then they walked near the bed in the other bedroom and sat on the bed and laid down. And she had called out to the person, or she thought it was her, you know, the man that was staying with her, my cousin. And she had said, you know, his name was Oren. She said, Oren, is that you? And she said nobody answered her. She said, Oren, but nobody answered. They sat on the bed, but then she didn't think nothing of it. And then she just like kind of went back to sleep because nobody answered her. So in the morning she gets up and she looks at the bed. There's nobody there. The bed's made the same way it was like made the night she went to bed.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, maybe he made the bed and took off again or whatever. So then she was just like really like, laid back, and she goes, oh, I'll just wait till he calls me. So later on that day, the next day he called her, and she had asked him, Oren, did you come home last night? He said, no, I didn't even come home. He said he stayed at his girlfriend's house, Jody. And she was kind of freaked out about it because she didn't know who that was. But then I asked her myself. I said, well, what do you think that was, Grandma? And she said, she goes, I think it was Edmund that was coming home. And Edmund was her son that had died. Like when he was in his later 30s, he died ironworking. He fell off this huge, like, while he was working, he fell off like maybe 2 or 3 stories high and fell into the water and died. And he was, like I said, he was only like in his later 30s or 40s and had passed away. And she said it was probably Edmund just coming home to go to sleep. And but that's my ghost story. And she had a couple other stories like that happened with him. And that's my ghost story. So.
Quick question. Are you okay with this story being on YouTube? Because I'm screen recording this whole live for those that missed it.
Yeah, go ahead. Put it on YouTube.
Just making sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and she's from the Cattaraugus Indian Reservation, Seneca Nation Reservation. Mm-hmm. And I have one more if you're willing to give me that time. If you're not, then that's okay.
No, absolutely. Like, tell your story. Yeah, there's nobody in the guest queue right now, so.
Okay, so I have one more story. I'll say it real quickly. I'll say it quickly if I can. Yeah. My brother Seymour. Okay, so this place we live on is called Indian Hill. It's on the Cattaraugus Indian Reservation. It's on the Seneca Nation Reservation. So he was maybe like 18 or 19 years old. And he just like, got in his car and he was probably going to go hang out with his friends and drink and party or whatever. Down with his native friends on the reservation. And he was on his way. He was leaving Indian Hill because Indian Hill is like connected to a bunch of other smaller reservations, like Pine Woods, Newtown, those kind of reservations. But he didn't get far. It was maybe like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and he was driving his car. He had a Crown Victoria at this time. And he was driving. He drove maybe like 1.5 miles from home, and his car freaking died. Mm. His car died at this one place near a reservation. We call it the Y. It's called the Y. We call it the Y because it's like the road veers off as like a Y, like a like a Y.
Yeah.
It's like
the fork. Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's like a fork. It's like, so his car died right at the Y. So it's like he was able to like kind of take it into this part where there's like a place to park it. So he's like, oh, my car died, so I'm just gonna walk back home. So he had like 1.5 miles to walk home. So this was like 11 o'clock at night. So he had to walk at least 1.5 miles to get back home, and maybe longer, but it was like I'd say 2 miles to get home and 1.5 miles of like no houses or anything. It's just like dark trees. It's like really it's like kind of creepy because there's no trees, there's no lights, because there's no street lights or nothing like that. And he started walking, and then he said he could hear someone walking directly behind him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then he like the thing that people know, you do not look back. You do not look back at what's following you. Because if you look back, it's not good for you. So he just said he was so scared he couldn't even look back at who was following him. But he could hear footsteps directly behind him. but he just kept walking. And he told all of us that, and we're like, yeah, good thing you didn't look back, like. But that was another story, and I just wanted to share that, and so.
No, for sure. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for hosting this, because it's pretty cool to hear other people's stories,
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you for sharing yours. Thank you for having the courage to share yours, really.
Yeah, and so it on YouTube. I don't care. None of these stories are going to get probably recognized, but that's my stories anyways. So, okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Take care. All right. We have 14 minutes left of the live. So I'll probably have time, in theory, I have time for 2 more stories if anyone wants to jump on. Thank you for everyone that's come on. Thank you for the new followers. Thank you. You guys are the best. Wow, 69,000 likes, guys. That is insane. Wow. But yeah, shoot. Thank you, Rashada. I hope I pronounced your name right, Rashada. Thank you. Belladonna, thank you so much. 13 more minutes, guys. All right. Well, who's down for some vampire stories, yeah? First stage of Club Quest. Club Cheers has been unlocked. Okay. Alright. Yep, here we go. New Orleans. Vampires. Trying to find the article. Saint-Germain Brothers. All right, let's see. New Orleans, with its hauntingly beautiful streets, historic architecture, and rich cultural tapestry, has long been a beacon for tales of the supernatural. Hold on real quick. Okay, yeah. Of the supernatural. Among its most captivating legends are those of vampires, immortal beings who have allegedly roamed the French Quarter and beyond for centuries. The mystique surrounding New Orleans vampires intertwines myth and reality. Myth and reality, making the Crescent City a haven for enthusiasts of Gothic lore and paranormal intrigue. This blog delves into the fascinating history, enduring legends, and modern allure of vampires in New Orleans, exploring why the creatures of the night continue to captivate imaginations. I've heard of that app, Rashada. I've heard of it. I don't think I want to mess with it. So let me tell you guys about the story that I've heard on the Vampire Tour, and this is a game of telephone, of course. So, if any of you have seen Interview with the Vampire, there's this, there's basically this couple in the movie, named Louis and Lestat, both in the movie and in the TV show. They were inspired by an actual case. And what happened in the case was, this is how it starts. A little girl showed up to the police station, inspiration for Claudia. She showed up to the police station, pretty beat up, like covered in blood, all that stuff. And thank you, Rashada. She told them what happened, who did this, you know, and she told them where the location was, where she came from, and the police immediately went to that area. So they go into the building, and as the police opened their apartment, there were body bags all over the place of freshly unalived corpses, drained of blood. The two people were caught in the act. They're the Sanchime brothers of doing so. And the police were trying to arrest them, but they were able to escape. They jumped off the balcony and landed on the street like it was nothing. This is all in the police archives, and they couldn't explain what happened. They jumped off a balcony and were able to land on the street as if nothing, not even being affected by it, not even being fazed by it. They kept running. Eventually, they caught up to them and put them to unaliving, and unalive both of them through the gallows and put them in a coffin. And it was one of the graveyards. I forgot what the graveyard was. But after Hurricane Katrina, they had to relocate some of the graves, some of the coffins. And when they opened up their grave for relocation, when they opened up their coffins, they were missing. The bodies were missing. So, yeah. I'm gonna close out with this article though. Okay, New Orleans' unique culture is the perfect breeding ground for vampire lore. Its blend of French, Spanish, African, and Caribbean influences, paired with a dark and mysterious history, creates an atmosphere ripe for tales of the supernatural. New Orleans and vampires are forever linked, thanks to its Gothic architecture, mist-shrouded streets, and vibrant storytelling traditions. That was a real case right there. Real case. Look it up. The city's storied past includes shadowy figures like the John and Wayne Carter vampires, infamous names whispered in John and Wayne Carter. The Carter brothers, the Carter brothers. They're the Carter brothers, not the Sanchime brothers. The Carter brothers. John and Wayne Carter. Yeah. The Carter brothers, infamous names whispered in hushed tones as part of the vampires in New Orleans history. The Carter brothers were alleged to have kept victims chained and drained of blood. A chilling tale blurred the line between folklore and reality. Vampires in New Orleans history. The history of New Orleans vampires is deeply rooted in the city's folklore. During the 18th and 19th centuries, the port city was a hub for trade and immigration, bringing with it tales from Europe and the Caribbean. Many of these stories centered on supernatural beings, and New Orleans' shadowy streets seemed like a natural habitat for vampires to thrive. One of the most famous legends is tied to the French Quarter, where visitors often hear about the haunting tales surrounding historic landmarks like the La Laurie Mansion. Nearby vampires in Louisiana are said to have congregated in secret societies shrouded in mystery. Today, these legends are kept alive through ghost tours and books that delve into New Orleans vampire stories, blending the historical accounts with imaginative fiction. Real vampires in New Orleans? ? The question, are there vampires in New Orleans, has intrigued believers and skeptics alike. Modern tales suggest a vibrant vampire society. Vibrant vampire society in New Orleans, with underground communities claiming to embody the spirit of these immortal beings. Yes, there are vampire covens, and no, some do do that, but it's really frowned upon in a lot of vampire communities. Vampires are more of aesthetic and psychic vampires, and there are those that view it as more of like a religious kind of take, a spiritual take, like embodying their own personal vampire within them. So, like, as in, like, the nighttime reveals their true self, their true vampiric self. Anyway, while their existence may not have involved literal immortality, many members adopt the lifestyle and aesthetic of vampires, adding to the city's allure. Some claim to have seen real vampires in New Orleans, attending the secret gatherings or lurking in shadowy corners in the French Quarter. These individuals, often self-proclaimed vampires, feed into the myths while drawing visitors from around the world to explore the legends of New Orleans for themselves. Vampires and pop culture. The image of New Orleans vampires have been immortalized in popular culture, particularly through Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles. Her novel, starting with Interview with the Vampire, solidified New Orleans as the quintessential vampire city. Rice's evocative descriptions of the city's streets, cemeteries, and mansions brought a modern twist to the New Orleans mythology surrounding vampires. Beyond literature, television shows like the originals, the movies set in the city have further cemented the connection between New Orleans and vampires, drawing legions of fans to visit the Crescent City in search of favorite haunts. Sure, it's not too long. Cool. Vampire stories, myths, and myths of the French Quarter. The New Orleans French Quarter vampire legend is central to the city's supernatural reputation. Tales of nocturnal predators lurking like the French Quarter date back to its earliest days. In the originals. Earliest days. Stories like the John Wayne Carter vampires are retold on tours. John and Wayne Carter vampires are retold on tours with guides recounting the eerie encounters and unsolved mysteries. The Carter story in particular paints a chilling picture of bodies drained of blood in New Orleans. The vampire stories in New Orleans often include elements of truth blended with fiction, making them all the more captivating. Walking tours through the French Quarter highlight these tales, bringing the visitors face to face with chilling yet fascinating lore of New Orleans history. The undying allure of New Orleans myths. New Orleans legends, from voodoo priestesses to the undead, contribute to this reputation as one of the most haunted cities in the world. New Orleans myths, like vampires, thrive because they tap into the city's sense of mystery and human fascination with the unknown. Visitors often come for the architecture and cuisine. Great cuisine, by the way. Yes, double tap, guys, double tap. Thank you, Eric. The Crescent City, New Orleans folklore serves as a living reminder of its past, where facts and fiction emerge seamlessly. The New Orleans vampire history is not just a tale of immortal beings, but also a reflection of the city's ability to reinvent itself while staying true to its roots. And we're almost done. Modern vampire enthusiasts. The fascination of vampires in New Orleans has spawned a thrive of tourism industry. With vampire-themed shops, bars, even events catering to enthusiasts, modern-day vampire fans often visit the city to participate in themed experiences, from vampire masquerades to candlelight tours in New Orleans myths and legends. Even those skeptical of the supernatural can't help but be drawn to its gothic charm of New Orleans. The city's ability to weave... If you're intrigued by these tales of New Orleans, the best way to explore them is walking the French Quarter at night. It's basically just doing a whole generalization of it, not really talking about much vampires. Yeah, I've been to the vampire shop there. It's cool. I've been to the vampire speakeasy there. It's actually in this bar, and there's a password and everything. It's cool. I've gotten a vampire tarot reading at the time. And yeah, you just found a vampire. Probably did. I don't know. Well, guys, we've reached the end of the live. I will be live tomorrow, same times, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time. Oh, welcome, Vampire. I always conclude with these 2 messages. First message. Oh, cool, Brian. That's awesome. First message. If you're going through a mental health crisis, please contact the number 988. The reason why I bring this up is because when I first started doing lives, someone called me on my Instagram and they're about to do this to themselves. They're with us, thankfully, to this day. But I had to tell them, look, I'm not a professional. This can't keep happening. This can't keep happening. These guys can help. 988. I tell that not because I don't care, but because I do. And these people are a lot more equipped to handle mental health crises than I am. So I've contacted them in the past. They're not there to judge you, label you, diagnose you, or anything. They're just there to hear you out. That's it. Make sure that keep your feet on the ground. Once again, sweetest people in the world. If you're going through a mental health crisis, call them. 988. Hold on, guys. Let me just take care of this. It's annoying. There we go. Final message. Break the chains that bind you. Keep moving forward in life, even if it's just baby steps. Look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of how far you made it. And show yourself the love for it. You owe it to you to not let the thoughts win. Live with conviction. And remember, it can't rain all the time. 100% Sierra. Good night, Sean. Good night, Sierra. Good night, Belladonna. Good night, Scorpio Star. Good night, Brenda. I'll be on tomorrow, guys. 84,000 likes. That's a record. You guys are the best. Good night. Good night, Ham. That's a good. Be proud of how far you made it. Exactly, Shelly. Be proud. This will be on YouTube. Good night, guys.